I kept passing the same mile marker. I've driven this stretch of highway for years. It's boring, straight, and mostly empty at night. Mile markers line the side, one every half mile. Nothing special, just numbers on metal posts. But one night, something changed, and now I can't forget it. It started like any normal drive home. I left work late, around 11 p.m., the sky dark and cloudy. My car's headlights cut through the black, the engine humming its usual tune. I was tired but alert, scanning the road out of habit. Mile marker 14 passed on my right, then 15, then 16, everything normal, except when I glanced at the next mile marker 17, it looked wrong. The metal post gleamed unnaturally under my headlights, fresh as if it had been just planted. That alone wouldn't have alarmed me, except I recognized this road. I drive it almost every day. I know every crack, every curve. There shouldn't have been anything unusual. I blinked and the post was gone. Just weeds again. I shook my head. Maybe I was imagining things. Fatigue plays tricks on you. I told myself it was nothing. But a minute later, there it was again. Mile marker 17, same shiny metal post, same crisp paint, and then 18, 19, 20. They were appearing faster than they should. It felt like the numbers were rushing past me, yet somehow staying in perfect sequence. I slowed down, heart starting to race. Okay, I muttered. Focus. Maybe road maintenance or something, but the feeling in my chest told me this wasn't normal. The markers weren't just new, they were wrong. After mile marker 22, the trees start closing in on the road. Usually, the stretch is dark, silent, the occasional deer rustling in the underbrush. But that night, silence, heavier than usual. My tires made no sound on the asphalt, no gravel, no leaves, nothing. My heartbeat filled the emptiness. I glanced at the next mile marker. 23, then 24. Each one appeared as I passed, but when I looked back, I could still see the previous marker in the rearview mirror. It was like the road was looping, creating duplicates of the markers I had already passed. I cursed under my breath. This was ridiculous. I tried to convince myself it was a trick of the headlights, shadows, maybe some weird reflection on the wet pavement. But as mile marker 25 approached, I knew this wasn't normal. Something was wrong with this road, and then I noticed the time. 11:40 p.m., my dashboard clock blinked exactly 11:42, like it had frozen. I glanced down at my phone, no signal, GPS frozen at 11:42 as well. My hands tightened on the wheel. Okay, I said, trying to calm myself. Just keep driving. You'll get home. Mile marker 26, I blinked, and suddenly it was 17 again. The numbers had reset, my pulse spiked. I took a deep breath, trying to steady myself. Surely, this was fatigue. Surely, but I wasn't tired. I wasn't hallucinating. I was completely awake. The markers continued to loop, counting forward and then back, sometimes repeating, sometimes jumping ahead by 2 or 3 numbers at a time. I could no longer trust my memory of the road. Every tree, every curve, every crack looked familiar yet slightly off, as if the highway itself was alive. Then I saw something at the edge of the trees. A light, dim, faint, flickering like a candle. I squinted, trying to make it out. A building? No, a car. Something was parked by the side, though there shouldn't have been anything out here. My headlights swept over it for only a second before it vanished. I blinked, gone. Mile marker 30 passed. Or was it 12? I didn't know anymore. My watch normally sensed now ready 11:42 for the 5th time. I shook my head violently. I needed to pull over. I needed to figure out if I was losing it. I slowed and finally stopped, engine idling. I got out. The night was still. Not a leaf stirred, not a bug chirped. My tires crunched on the gravel, but no other sound existed. The markers loomed ahead, metal posts gleaming faintly under my headlights. I counted 16, 17, 18, 19, each one shining like new, yet I knew I had passed them before. I was trapped in some kind of loop. I walked closer to the next marker. It was firmly planted, the paint fresh, edges sharp. I touched it, cold, solid, real. My stomach churned. How could this exist? I looked back at the road. Behind me, the markers repeated endlessly, numbers blurring as if trying to catch up to each other. Panic set in. I jumped back into the car. Tried the ignition, car started instantly. I slammed the gear into drive. The markers kept passing. They no longer made sense. 20, 22, 19, 21. The sequence broken, then corrected itself. I could feel my mind fraying, trying to process something impossible. Then I noticed movement at the edge of the trees. Shadows flickered between the trunks. Shapes, tall and thin, moving unnaturally. I squinted, but couldn't make out faces or details. Only the impression that something was watching, moving closer. My hands gripped the wheel tighter. Mile markers raced past, counting faster, slower, reversing, then jumping ahead. I floored the accelerator. My headlights caught something. A figure, standing perfectly still between two trees. Blacker than the night, taller than any man should be. It didn't blink, it didn't move its head. It just existed. The road stretched endlessly behind it. No sound, no wind, nothing but my engine. I tried to steer past it. The tires felt heavy, the car reluctant. As I passed, the figure vanished. Mile marker 33, or was it 27, blinked past. The time remained 11:42. I realized I wasn't moving through space anymore. I was moving through time, somehow trapped in a repeat, a glitch in reality. Every instinct screamed to get off the road. I turned, tried reversing, tried leaving the highway. The trees twisted around me, reshaping themselves. Each turn led me back to the same stretch, the same markers, the same frozen clock. The light I had seen earlier reappeared briefly, flickering, then gone. I pulled over again. Tears pricking my eyes. "What the hell is happening?" I whispered. I grabbed my phone, hoping for a map, a GPS, anything. It showed the highway, straight, simple, boring. No markers, no lights, no loop, but outside. The road twisted, expanded, contracted. Each mile marker I passed had its twin waiting, perfect, sharp, unreal. And then came the whisper, low, barely audible, but unmistakable. From the trees behind me, "You shouldn't be here." I spun in the driver's seat, nothing, just trees, but the markers, they shifted. Backwards, forwards, counting faster than my eyes could track. I hit the gas, tires squealing, engine roaring. I didn't look back, I didn't stop. Mile markers flashed past in a chaotic blur. Finally, after what felt like hours but could have been seconds, the loop broke. I was back at mile marker 14, normal asphalt, normal trees, normal silence. The clock on my dashboard 11:43. 1 minute had passed. I tried calling anyone, texting, signal returned, everything was normal. I drove home slowly, hands shaking, heart still hammering. Locked the doors, sat on the floor of my apartment, trying to make sense of it. I kept the lights on all night. I didn't sleep. The next day, I drove the same route in daylight. Mile markers normal, trees normal, nothing repeated but my mind. I could still see them, numbers blinking in sequence, racing, doubling, reversing. That night, I didn't leave the house. The night after, I avoided the highway entirely, but sometimes, when I glance at a road at night, headlights cutting through blackness, I see something out of the corner of my eye, a mile marker gleaming too brightly. To new. Waiting. I've never driven that highway at night again, but sometimes, when I close my eyes, I see the numbers repeating, racing, counting backwards, and I wonder, if I ever return, will I pass the same mile marker again?